Hi Hemant, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good too, thank you. So can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, sir. Myself, Hemant Kumar. I'm born and brought up in Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
and I have completed my graduate at IITM. Have pursued BCA. Now, currently, I'm ongoing with MCA.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing bachelor degree of BCA, I strongly made up my mind to become a software test engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So So once after I have completed my PCA, so I have involved in my family business. Later on, I switched to software company, a company called Insight Mobile Solution, which is in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
So there I got an opportunity to work in a software testing domain.
Mm-hmm.
So I have gained 1.8 years in both the manual and automation. I've worked as a software test engineer. I was put it in a project called IHAT RT, which comes under a healthcare domain. There, my roles and responsibility were I was involved in uh, writing scenarios, understanding the system. I was involved in doing system study. Later on, I used to write the test scenarios, and I was involved in a brainstorming meeting. And after that meeting, I used to if there is any changes made in the test scenarios, that I used to correct the test scenarios and update the scenarios. And after completion of test scenarios, I was grouping prioritize the scenarios, and I was writing the test cases by applying test case design techniques. And I used to store all the test case in a repository.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I was involved in doing a test review process of my juniors and seniors.
Mm-hmm.
I was involved in doing functional testing, integration testing, system testing, and ad hoc testing, smoke testing, as well as regression testing. A few times I used to do exploratory testing. So once after that, I was involved in preparing traceability matrix. I was also involved in executing the test cases, and creating a test case report.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a part of a test plan. And whenever I find the defect, I used to log the defect in defect tracking tool. Tool name was Jira. So I used to log the defect in defect tracking tool and inform it to developer. So after that, I was also involved in all the agile meeting in my in agile framework Scrum model we were following. So I was involved in all kinds of meetings like daily stand-up meetings, sprint planning, sprint retrospective meeting, release retrospective meeting, bug triage, and walkthroughs, inspections. So after that, whenever I get a time, I used to write creative scenarios and test cases, and I used to give the KT to my juniors as well as senior, and I was also getting a guidance from my test lead, where
Mm-hmm.
I can gain my knowledge and implement all my skills, and gain a real time experience. So after that. Uh, um, I was actively participating. I'm a proactive, and I'm a very good listener, and I love to upgrade all my what all the requirements to grow as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my hobbies are playing cricket and watching movies and traveling. These are my hobbies, and this is all about me, sir.
Okay, great, great. So initially when you completed graduation, you started working at a shop, at your own business, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can avoid telling that in the introduction because you are now going to do a job of software testing, right? So that was
Correct.
not related. So rest of the things were good. Your introduction was really good. So that line you can remove,
Right,
right?
sir.
And okay, right. So that is one thing. Okay, now you were telling about the reviewing the test cases or the work of your juniors. So how do you
Correct, sir.
review them? Yeah.
Sir, once after test case is ready,
Mm-hmm.
so all the testing test lead, my test lead used to give test case which is prepared by other test engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to get all those test cases through mail. So I used to inspect the test cases. If there is any defect, then I used to communicate to but respective test engineers
Mm-hmm.
by attaching a CC to test lead.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, so the particular test engineer used to correct and update the test cases. Again, used to send the test cases to me by attaching a CC to test lead.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I review the test cases. If it is correct, then I will give it to test lead,
Mm-hmm.
stating that test cases or all the test cases are in a proper manner. So this is how I use it to review the test cases.
Okay, great. Now, apart from that, you were also mentioning that you are using some test case designing techniques, right? So, which
Yes,
are
sir.
those techniques that you are using to write test cases?
While writing the test cases, I used to write the test cases by applying boundary value analysis.
Mm-hmm.
As per my knowledge, there are few types in test case while writing the test cases, like equivalence partition and error casing. In equivalence partition, there are two types. One is Pressman method and practice method. So Pressman method is nothing but if input is in the range of values, then design a test case for one valid and two valid, and design a test case for two invalid data. So uh, if input is in the set of values, then design a test case with one valid and create a test case for two invalid. And if input is in the if input is in Boolean format, true or false,
Mm-hmm.
then use it to test accordingly.
Right.
Then Pressman method, in Pressman method, if input is in the range of values, and divide in the equal parts and test for one valid and two invalid. So
Mm-hmm.
that is Pressman method. So the main thing is we use it to write the boundary. We use it to implement boundary value analysis. So
Mm-hmm.
boundary value analysis is nothing but if input is in the range of values, so then design the test case for A plus B, A minus B, and
Mm-hmm.
B minus B. And one more two method is decision table technique and state transition.
Mm-hmm.
And decision table technique means if there is a multiple conditions, then you should to go for decision table techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Right, right.
State transition
Yeah, straight transition. You were telling something?
State transition is nothing but we use it to write the diagram. We use it to write the scenarios. According to that, we use it to write the diagram. It refer like screens, multiple
Mm-hmm.
screens, sir.
Right, right. So, how many years of experience you have in manual and how many years of experience you have in automation?
In manual, I have 1.2 years of experience, sir.
Mm-hmm. And in automation,
8 months, sir.
8 months. Right.
1.2 and 6 months I have.
So, you are comfortable with Selenium questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In Selenium,
Mm-hmm.
I never get an opportunity to write the test script,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a good knowledge on Selenium, sir. I
Okay.
used to
Okay.
execute the test script only.
Mm-hmm. Let's say you have written this particular code, or one of your junior team member has written this particular code. Okay. Now they are getting an error that element is not clickable at a point. Other element would receive the click. This is the HTML page. From this, they have to select option number 2, right, as a part of
Okay.
automation script. And this is the HTML code of radio button.
Okay.
So can you identify what error they are making and how can they update the script in such a manner that they don't receive any error further?
Okay. Uh, In error, it is clearly stating that the element is not clickable. So we have to use JavaScript, sir.
Right, right. So you'll be using JavaScript, right? So
Yes,
that
sir.
is one of the option that you should go for, right?
Correct, sir.
Yeah, any other solution, any other approach that you feel should be taken here, apart from that?
Usually, if there is a drop down, we'll using select option, select, sir.
Hmm.
Uh,
It's a drop down, but this is a radio button, right?
if it is a radio button,
Hmm.
can you please repeat the question, sir?
Right, right. See, this is the HTML page, and we have to select option number 2 via automation script. Okay, this code is written, but this is not working, right? We are
Okay.
getting this particular error, and this is the HTML code of radio button. Backend of radio button is written here. So you have to identify why it went wrong. So one aspect, one answer you gave correctly. It can be due to the JavaScript executor. If we use JavaScript executor, then our automation script will work. Which is the
Correct, sir.
second, any other approach apart from that?
We can go for action class. We can go for robot class, sir.
Robot class. Why do you want to go
Uh,
for robot class?
we can use the virtual keyboard, sir.
Virtual
Or
keyboard.
we can use uh, action class, mouse over.
Okay. Action you can use. See, virtual keyboard you were telling, but we don't have any keystrokes here, right?
Yes,
Any keys
yes,
here,
correct. Mm,
right? Yeah, so actions class you can use.
yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
okay, I have to find the XPath now. Okay, and this is the code, right? And
Okay.
yeah, this is the code. This is the HTML code for which I have to find out the XPath. So I created XPath in this manner, but it is giving me an error that the error is the expression is not a legal expression. So what would be the
Okay.
correct XPath? Hmm.
We can use at the rate type is equal to email.
At the rate
Xpath
type.
double
Hmm.
forward slash at the rate type is equal to email.
Type is equal to email.
Yes, sir.
What if I want to, what if this also does not work? Then,
We can go for class, sir.
but class,
Yeah. We can try using XPath by traversing also.
mhm. Okay, so what XPath
Or
will you
else
create? Hmm.
we can use multiple conditions like if it is not recognizing with a single attribute name and attribute value, we can concatenate using and operators.
Okay, but what is the mistake in this XPath? What is the problem with this XPath expression? Why do you think it is not working? What do you
Maybe
think? Yeah.
element
Hmm.
is fetching find element is not able to recognize the element, sir, address of the element, or else find element is getting multiple elements.
Hmm. Find element might be getting multiple elements, so we can write XPath with star,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So that will
Yes,
take
sir.
care.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is an option. Then let's move to the next question. Okay, you have 1,000 test cases that you have kept for execution during the nightly run. When you come in the morning, you see the result with 500 pass and 500 fail. So how will you debug, or how will you do root cause analysis?
Root cause analysis
Mhm.
by using try and catch blocks or assertion. We will get to know
Mhm.
where exactly the code is not working.
Okay, so that's about automation script, right? You will be using try catch assertion. But
Okay.
let's think from the result perspective. You have already
Okay.
received the result. Maybe from the next time onwards, you will keep try catch and you will see. But why do you think that those 500 would have failed? How will you identify? How will you do the analysis of those 500 test cases which have failed?
Uh, I will analyze why the test case is getting failed.
Mhm.
I'll go to the respective test cases, and I will go through the CRS and how the test scenarios and test cases has been written, and um, I'll go for sir. You are asking about manual or automation? Hello.
Yeah. So this question is from the manual testing perspective, that out of 1,000 test cases, 500 have failed, 500 are passed. Then what will you do?
I'll check the script, sir. I'll check the
Mhm.
test cases, whether it has been written accordingly, correct or not.
Okay, see, um, if you get such kind of a question in a real-time interview, you can tell that to which module those 500 were belonging. Were they belonging to some specific module, then there might be some defect. It might happen that the server or the machine or the VM where your automation was running, that would have rebooted for some update, and those 500 would not have got executed, or those would have failed. You can also tell that maybe DB connection error might would have happened of the website which you were running the automation. So DB connection error was there, then it got failed. You can also mention that um, some dependency test case would have failed, and that's why. So there can be n number of reasons behind this failure. And how you will do root cause analysis? So you will figure out at what time it failed, what is the pattern of test cases that have got failed. Sometimes, it might happen that some particular feature was not working. Sometimes it might happen that for example, in Amazon website, they have to select some product from the cart, add them to the cart, and then it got failed, right? So if
Thank you.
the the product itself is not getting added into the cart, then you won't be able to proceed with the payment gateway kind of things, right?
Correct.
So dependency test cases might get failed, right? Uh, or someone might would have triggered the deployment in the QA environment when you are running the automation. N number of reasons, right?
Right, sir. Thanks for your guidance, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, what is typecasting in Java?
Typecasting.
Mhm.
Typecasting is nothing but um, changing changing smaller data type into larger data type is called as typecasting. There are in typecasting there are of two types. One is um, upcasting and downcasting. Uh,
Mhm.
sorry. uh, uh, in typecasting, winding and unwinding. One is first type is winding and unwinding, and another one is upcasting and downcasting.
Mhm.
Uh, in widening means converting from a smaller primitive data type into larger primitive data type.
Mhm.
We can do by implicit and explicit. In narrow testing, converting a larger primitive data type to smaller primitive data type. we have to go for explicit typecasting. In upcasting, um, converting upcasting means um, uh, uh, we are converting upcasting means inheriting the properties from the uh, parent class to child class, sir.
See, typecasting in Java, what is typecasting? It is the process of converting one data type to another data type using the casting operator, right? So whenever you assign a value from one primitive data type to another data type, this is known as typecasting. This is with respect to the data types, right? Typecasting.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is super keyword and what is this keyword in Java?
Super keyword uh, in method super keyword is used in the case of method overriding, and
Hmm.
super keywords, if you want to if you want to get both uh, s- uh, subclass implementation and the superclass implementation, then we go for superclass implementation, and superclass should be written in the subclass implementation, super keyword with a method name, sir.
Right. See, super keyword is nothing but it is used to access methods of the parent class, right? While this keyword is used to access methods of the current class, the current class which you have created, right? And this keyword is a reserved keyword in Java, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Right. So that's how you can tell, right? And one more thing I would like to tell, there you were telling about typecasting, right? You were mentioning about two types. One is widening casting. Another is the narrowing casting, right? So whenever you do widening casting, that is converting a smaller data type to a larger data type size. Like for example, you are converting from byte, short, character, int, long, float, double, right? While in narrowing casting, you are converting a larger data type to a smaller size.
Uh,
Reverse of this will happen: double, float, long, int,
Correct.
character, short, byte. That's how you will do wide casting and narrowing casting. Okay. 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 Now, hmm, can you tell me negative test scenarios for this particular feature?
Vehicle registration, sir.
Vehicle registration, mobile number, view prices. These are the buttons and the fields. You can retrieve your code, you can renew your policy, you can insure new vehicles. So I need negative test scenarios for this particular functionality. Get
Uh,
updates
um,
on WhatsApp. These two checkboxes are there, right? Hmm.
can I know the requirement, please, sir?
Yeah. So the requirement is that you have a feature where you can get your policies of the four-wheelers or your vehicles renewed, right? And you can also get a quotation. You can also insure older vehicles, you can insure newer vehicles, and you can get these policies in a PDF format in your WhatsApp number, on your WhatsApp number, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
So first I'll open the browser and enter the URL, and click on vehicle registration.
Mhm.
I will give a wrong number. I will give a wrong mobile number and switch off the internet and click on view prices and
Mhm.
check whether I can able to view the prices.
Mhm.
These are negative scenarios, and I will open the browser. I will click on vehicle registration. I will copy the URL and paste it in Notepad. Again, I will open another browser and paste it in a browser, and I'll I'll open the same URL with the link, and I'll check whether registration which I have typed in previous browser is displaying in this browser. And again, if it is displaying, then uh, that is a defect, sir. And no one will copy the URL and paste it in a Notepad again. They will open another browser and test it like that. And the next scenarios is I'll click on vehicle registration.
Mhm.
I'll click on mobile number. and I will I'll not click on I accept terms and condition and click on I'll not click on the checkbox, and I'll directly click on view prices and check whether I can view the details or not. And one more scenario is I'll click on I'll open the browser, enter the URL and click on mobile number. I'll not enter vehicle registration, and I'll check I'll click on view prices and check whether it is displayed or not. And I'll click on mobile number and enter some text, and in the place of vehicle registration, I'll give I'll I'll give random numbers, and check with and click on view prices and click on all the boxes and check whether it is displayed or not. And I'll open the browser, enter the URL, and I'll click on view registration, and click on view mobile number, and I'll power off the computer, and again I'll on the computer and check whether and open the same browser with the URL and click on view prices and check whether I can display it or not.
Correct, correct. Good, good. So good amount of test cases you covered. Okay, Hemant, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah, Hemant, tell me.
if I get a real-time interviewer, so what are the important questions they might ask for me to crack the interview?
Mm-hmm. So,
Being a 1.8 experience.
mm-hmm.
So
So they'll be asking you more such kind of questions, that is telling you will have to tell them the test scenarios of some real-time websites, or they might share the website of their own companies in which they are working, and they might ask you to tell positive test scenarios, negative test scenarios. Then how do you start testing? How do you estimate a particular user story? Then few questions on Java, automation, coding, XPath related things. These kind of questions you can get. Plus SQL related questions also you might get.
okay, right,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for your interview, and
Yeah.
thanks for guiding me. I'll watch your more
Mm-hmm.
videos regularly on YouTube. I'm
Thank
very
you.
much inspired by your passion, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your support. Right. And we are also uploading job opportunities on our channels. So you can apply to those job opportunities also. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Uh,
you. Yeah.